I'm Tai Chi. At 19, I was a superstar and I was lost inside. I left it all behind, switched continents, and started all over. Years later, I found myself lost again, this time in the American dream. This is a story about awakening, about living the life you were created for, about going inward and discovering the joyous and purposeful person you and I are both meant to be. This is Waking Up in America. Here on Waking Up in America, we're taking a moment to step out of our regular, ordinary routine and respond to those who need our help. There are stories that will never make it into the news. There are faces of children that you'll never see on those beautifully produced fundraising videos. Children who are stuck somewhere between the tragedy and thriving. Children whose parents are stuck in that in that place where they're not quite so poor that they qualify for social services, but yet they can't afford basics like healthy hot meal every day. Recently, I learned about a story of Tony Robbins, who is one of the greatest world's influencers and philanthropists. Tony feeds millions of people every year. And it was a random act of kindness on a Thanksgiving, a meal delivered by a stranger that changed his life and really motivated him not to only to rise above his family poverty, but also to give. And he says, not give back, but give forward. And so what if you knew that by helping a child who is in that stuck situation, you would be influencing someone, empowering someone who will down the road change the face of the earth. Maybe find a cure for cancer. Maybe be a great leader and connect us all into the awareness, deeper awareness of peace and love and connection for each other. Maybe continue to feed the world. Would you help? Would you join hands with others who believe that you and I are the only people in the world that can make the change in the world? Sometimes it takes, always it takes a lot of faith to know that yes, what I do today will indeed make a difference. When I was 4 years old, I believed that music had that power. And that's been my motivation, and I did everything I could to really make a difference through music. Last summer, I received an offer from a songwriter from Croatia, from Dalmatia actually, and I never sang a Dalmatian song before. And she's a beautiful woman who is a mother and also lives in Croatia and struggles through this economic crisis. And it's not just an economic crisis that she and so many others are struggling through. It's also a struggle of believing that anything or something is possible, that the change is possible. I was really compelled to connect this song with doing something real and doing something that can deliver a meal. I felt this desire to just keep working through the obstacles, and I spent the whole night. I was awake. I couldn't sleep. And the very next morning, I received a message on my LinkedIn account from a lady in Croatia who is a part of a beautiful organization called Portal Dobrote, Portal of Kindness. And they had already established this very successful project where you go to the bakery, you buy your daily bread, but you also buy another loaf for someone who will come and pick it up for free, who can't afford that loaf of fresh bread. She told me about the new project they're launching called No Child Left Hungry. And I immediately jumped on the computer and wanted to connect with her to see if we can together hold hands and feed some of those children who are stuck between the tragedy and thriving in a little tiny country that doesn't make it into the news often, like Croatia.
Uvijek si me učila, mir je svetinja, da ljudi nisu nisu zli, virovala si, svitovala me, da ću sretna biti ja, kad me tuđe nevolje, istoka moje zavole. Uzorita si, puna ljubavi, znam, htjela bi da budem kao i ti, bez grija da sam ja, mirna, spokojna, kad mi stuku voju svi, da mi tvoja svitlost friži i zliči.
So we set up a Zoom meeting and to be able to introduce them to you and the project that we're gonna join.
The crisis is bigger and stronger than ever. Our neighbors are in need. Our people, kids who are going in primary school with our kids are in need. If not us, who will raise their voice and said, okay, let's do something. As I'm always saying, we are always saying, there is not small help, so everybody can do something. We don't believe that problem is that people are going on over the garbage and trying to find some food there. We think the problem is that that's perfectly normal for us. That's the main problem, because people just stop to believe that something can happen and something can change and somebody is with them.
I thought we were just raising money to feed the children, but I think we're raising awareness of this power between you and I. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. We're going to ask people to donate whatever they can, $1, $5, $10.
Everything will be transparent. We understand the fear from people. Where is that money going? We're just on the beginning. We're just warming up.
Keep bringing this optimism and hope, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Znam, htjela bi da budem kao i ti, bez grija da sam ja, mirna, spokojna, kad mi stuku voju svi, da mi tvoja svitlost friži i zliči.
So make your donation today. Help a child who is out there not expecting anything. Help them to know that there are strangers, people in the world who truly care. Help us all to, and yourself as well, to see how you and I can make a difference. It will change your heart and your life. I guarantee it. I promise you we'll keep you updated with how the donations are being applied and how we are making a difference. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.